Hello, welcome to Red Ted Art. Today we're going to show you how to make some little paper lanterns. Now I'm just going to sort of keep turning this one because this one's got a bird on it, but this lantern that we're making today can be any design and it can fit any sort of occasion. So I'm going to make a little heart one in a minute, which would obviously be lovely for Valentine's or a wedding or something similar. This one we made for my son's school when they were looking at Florence Nightingale and they were looking for Florence Nightingale craft. So this was like meant to be a little nightingale, very simple. To make a lantern, it's based a little bit on a leaf lantern that was on my blog Red Ted Art, which was hugely popular, but that used cheese boxes. So this is one where you don't need a cheese box and it's really easy to do. What you'll need is some parchment paper or baking paper. Ideally it's not the greaseproof variety because it's harder for pens to write on, but any sort of parchment paper you can find on. If you do have greaseproof paper and it's very shiny, you'll need permanent markers like Sharpie pens, but if you have a slightly matter one like this one, you should probably be okay with normal pens. You'll need some card. You'll obviously need an electric tea light, some glue stick, a hole punch or stapler, some sellotape, scissors, and something to hang it with. So I'm going to quickly get on with it and show you how to make our lantern. So to begin with, you've got to make sure that your parchment paper is the same length as your card. So if you've got bigger, if your baking paper is bigger, then basically just, cut out an A4 sheet. So I'm going to start with cutting out a rim for my lantern. So I need 2 of these. If you're doing this in the classroom, which is what we did, we prepped all the paper and prepped all these strips of card, because it just saves a bit of time when you're working with 30 kids. We did this in Key Stage 1, so that's 6 to 7 year olds. Keep this because you're going to use it later. So now you get your Pritt stick or your glue stick, whatever you're using. Add lots of glue. You can use different glue if you want, but we just find that works quite well. And glue it down like this. Let's see, oh, there's a bit of glue. So that's just along the edge. There we go. And then you take the second sheet. Now this is where you choose how tall or thin your lantern's going to be. I'm going to make a slightly shorter one, this one, because I had quite a thick, long one with the nightingale on. And then I'm just going to take the glue stick again. Lots of glue so that it secures it in place. It doesn't matter if your strip isn't perfectly straight. As you can see on mine, it isn't. I think that adds to the charm, as they like to say. Then you stick that down. There we go. Now it's time to add your design. Now we're going to draw it freehand because I said I'm going to do some hearts, but what you can also do is, here I've just got a random colouring page my children are working on at the moment. If you wanted to, you could trace a design and that makes it really cool, so because you can make it fit anything you like, and it also makes it easier for younger children to manage, or you can design something first and then trace it afterwards, so it's totally your choice. But actually this would be quite cool, wouldn't it? A little alien lamp. But you know what? It's going to be hearts. Yes, hearts it is. Keep it really simple. Here we go. Literally, I'm using my red Sharpie. I think using just black can look great. Look at that, because I'm talking at the same time as drawing. My heart's not as neat as it could be. I think having just black outlines could be lovely. You could have a rainbow on it. You could have shamrocks. It just depends on, whether you're making it just because, or if you have a specific theme in mind, and they can go all over. Make them different sizes. This would make a really sweet, like, wedding decoration, I think, or a sweet activity, around for children to do at a wedding. Obviously, you might have an adult there to help. I smudged it a bit there, can you see? So careful with your pens. I'm just going to do the front of the lantern just to save a little bit on time. Now, one thing I forgot to get out and get handy was my stapler. That's just typical, isn't it? Because actually I find stapling this is much easier. So you'll just have to, use some tape instead. Tape works well too. I think stapler's a bit more secure, but what you do now is you turn it around and you kind of, I'm just wary now, smudging it. Now that I've smudged it once, so you start turning it into its sort of circular shape. Can you see? There we go. And you can see that I didn't really cut mine evenly, but like I said, I don't think that matters. So now I'm going to just tape it into place. Because I've got the tape now rather than stapler, I might have to add a little piece extra in a minute. Let's just see how it goes. I quite like stapling it, and when we did it in class, the stapler worked really, really well. So anyway, let's get the tape. So again, make it nice and neat. There we go. And don't worry if the edges aren't perfect. This is meant to be a fun and easy craft. Obviously, if you want a perfect lantern, you just do all your measurements, you know, as accurate as possible. Isn't that sweet? If you're Germanic like us, you might have St. Martin's Day. And if you have St. Martin's Day, these would make really lovely St. Martin's Day for a Laternenlaufen, which is an event where people take out their lanterns and go for a nice walk in the dark with lots of other children and sing songs. Right, I'm digressing. Here we go. Now you need to make your base. So I'm just doing a rough circle of my lantern. There we go. Just finish it off. Again, when we did these in class, we actually measured out roughly the sort of lantern size you'd end up with, and then the children actually all got the same shaped base. But to be honest, it's better to measure it out because it just depends on how you tape it together. Because if you're taping it together tightly, your circle will be a bit smaller, and if it's looser, your circle will be a bit bigger. I know this is very rough, so you can see. There we go. Maybe cut it. You could rub those pencil marks out again if you want a perfect one. You don't have to. If you're doing this in class, get the kids to write their names on the back, so afterwards you know which lantern belongs to whom. And now I'm just going to really simply tape it to the bottom. Where's my tape? Here we go. You could, of course, you know, do those little teeth and try and stick those on. But to be honest, you know, when I do those, they do look good, the teeth. And once it's all dried in place, it does work really well. But again, if this is going to be an easy craft to do without too much fiddling, but still looks nice, the tape actually works quite well, I have to say. So, and it worked well again for a group activity. But, you know, it's up to you. Let's just gently put those pieces in place, about 4 or 5. I'm going to sort of all squish it down again in a minute once I've got them all in place. So what you can do now is once it's sort of starting to come together, you can just hold it. Now, obviously it depends on your sellotape. Some tape's better than other. Some will grip really well. So I'm just trying to get the tape in place. There we go. And it all just depends, you know, just try it out. Oopsie. Don't worry if you crinkle your lantern like I just did. All you have to do is just gently put your hand inside and uncrinkle it. So this is your basic shape. Sorry, my tape keeps coming off, which means it's that you know, it's that magic tape that you can peel off again. It's a bit like almost like masking tape, so it doesn't stick as strongly onto a shiny surface. But that's okay. Later, I'm just going to get the other tape out and get it into place. Now I want to hang it up, so I'm going to get a hole punch again, and I'm going to get some nice string. I'm going to do it double because it's quite thin and I want it to look nice. If you can't, if I've got a single hole punch, which makes it really easy for me to find the opposite ends and just give it a nice little hole either side. If you don't have a single hole punch, you can either look to make your holes beforehand, but it's a bit harder to line up, or you can staple them, or you can tape your string in place. So, you know, that you can improvise. Now I'm just tying my little string in place, and then for the other side, here we go. Let's move all those things aside. And there, you're almost finished with your little lantern. So this is like a little heart one, which would be really cute on Valentine's Day, or would be really cute at a wedding. Here we go, can you see? And then all you have to do is you buy some of these electric tea lights. I always get these sort of things online, and if you're doing these for a group, if you buy ahead of time, you can usually get quite a good deal. So I'm going to put this in, and my little lantern is finished. I'll see later if I can get a quick video of them in the dark, because you know this is obviously somewhere where there's good light, so it's a bit distracting. So there you go, a really simple paper lantern made in 10 minutes with very simple household items. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Have fun making your lanterns, and see you on Red Ted Art again soon. Do not forget to subscribe. We want to see you again. Bye. Just a very quick demo of our lanterns in the dark. I think they look really, really sweet. And it's great that you can sort of design anything on it, trace it, freehand, you know, customize it, make it Florence Nightingale, make it Valentine's, make it weddings, your choice. Really cute paper lanterns made from household items, would you believe? Nothing special apart from the electric tea light in here. Anyway, see you again soon. Bye bye.